Welcome back again this week, everybody. My name is Wes. This is The Whole Truth, episode number 3 for the week of 7 October 2013. From now on, these are going to be airing every Monday instead of Thursdays. It gives me the whole weekend to get them together. Had a few technical difficulties this time. All 3 of my batteries for my camera just decided that they would quit working permanently and be unchargeable. And I'm also slightly sick, so if I sound a little weird, I apologize. I've got some cool announcements this week about the show itself. We'll get to those later in the episode, so let's get on with it. RobertSpaceIndustries.com website recap. There was a big AMD reveal called the Sizzle Reel. The video is about 1.5 minutes long. It's got some footage in it that we haven't seen before. It's all done within the game engine. Looks amazing. Just gets us salivating even more for Star Citizen. Star Citizen hit $20 million in crowdfunding, and they're very close to $21 million. At $20 million, we opened up first-person shooting on select lawless planets. We don't have a whole lot of details about that yet, but first-person shooting was already coded into the game anyway, and so it was something that they wanted to do from the very beginning. In the letter to the chairman about the $20 million goal, they talked about a new facial capture system. Over here you can see a little quick clip of a video where that shows that off a little bit. Please go and check out that website. There's a lot of nudity in some of the videos where they've modeled whole nude female bodies and stuff, so I'm not going to throw that up on here, but I'll put a link down below so you guys can go and check it out. It is amazing looking stuff. So on the website there was a Star Citizen multiple package clarification post. It's very informative. A lot of people have been wondering what's going to happen with their money when they buy multiple packages, so I'm just going to run through that real briefly. I think this will be a good thing to actually cover on here instead of just giving you a link to it. So we're just going to run through it as quick as we can. Every Star Citizen pledge package includes 3 essential parts. You have your ship, some credits, and your character. You can break up your pledge packages and reallocate these 3 elements as you see fit. You can allocate your ships to different characters or assign all ships and credits to one character. Unused character slots without associated ships have 2 roles. They can be used to create additional crewmen or gifted to other players. So creating your own crewman means that you can actually create your crewman in the way he looks just like you do with your main character in the game, which I think is pretty awesome for people that have multiple passenger ships. Packages with physical extras, you're going to receive all the extras that you paid for. Digital extras, you'll have the option of either keeping those or gifting duplicates to your friends. You can create your own NPCs to use as your own personal crewmen for ships with multiple crew slots. You'll be able to name one of your created NPC crew members as your successor, and he'll inherit the assets of your deceased older character. So that's pretty amazing too. I'm still like on the fence about the whole death of your character system. I think it's going to be awesome. At the same time, you know, there's that attachment that you'll probably build up. So I don't know. All right, so moving on, there was a press roundup. Gamasutra published a major article on Star Citizen's crowdfunding campaign. You can find it in a link down below. There's a lot of info there from Chris Roberts. A lot of it we've already heard or we already know. A lot of it's pretty old info. Chris does talk about the modules coming out a bit, like the dogfighting module and all of that, and sort of a little bit of just a chronological order of things that are going to come out. He also makes a comment where he says, we got to a point where we went, okay, well, it doesn't look like we need investors now. We are fully community funded. So that's interesting. They consider themselves to be fully funded at this point. On the website, we also got an update about CitizenCon and the Mobiglass update. So CitizenCon isn't really a con, it's more of like a private thing. I don't think it's open to the public. There may be like a few select people that get to go, but it's mostly Star Citizen developers. And they stated that this is going to be the first time that all of the crew from both offices are all going to be in the same place. It's taking place in Austin. It's on October the 10th, which marks the anniversary of Chris Roberts' announcing of Star Citizen. Cloud Imperium is hosting a special event in downtown Austin opening the show. You can tune in live starting around 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Thursday, October the 10th. The team's going to be fleshing out a new Mobiglass concept, and they gave us some art pictures. I think there's about 11 pictures. There's a few of them going to be popping up right here. This looks amazing to me. This is like a futuristic Pip-Boy kind of thing for personal use, so it's like your cell phone, you know, to the next level. This is the kind of thing we saw a little bit in stuff like Minority Report. You can see in one of the pictures that a guy is actually spotting a wanted target using his Mobiglass, and then the pictures of them wearing them on their arm. The Mobiglass thing is a cool concept because you can literally use it everywhere. It can be the cockpit window of your fighter. It can be your cell phone type device, your PDA type device. It can be on street signs. They show in one of the pictures a street sign that's got a catalog on it, and then a window where instead of having an actual window display, they just have a Mobiglass window that shows images of things and prices next to them. So that's pretty neat. I'm excited about that. There was a Hangar module patch. It's only a few notes. The most important thing that you'll probably notice is that there's now background music in the Hangar, which is pretty neat. It was kind of dead feeling in there before. The music adds a lot of ambience to it. There was a Galactic Guide update on the website. It's about the hangar manufacturers. They released some logos for a couple of the manufacturers, and then they released a whole bunch of information about those. So go check that out. All right, now we're on to episode number 41, Wingman's Hangar Recap. The first thing they talked about when Wingman's Hangar opened up is that they're knee-deep in the dogfighting process, building this thing out for us for December. They showed a little video of just a bunch of people sitting around a table kind of thing and said, hey, look, we're working on a dogfighting module. Moving on to the forum feedback recap within Wingman's Hangar. This week we had just Eric Peterson and Rob Irving talking about it. So once again, Rob Irving is answering all of these questions. Question, will the might of the UEE military vary depending on the wealth of the economy? Answer, the military is typically stronger when the economy is worse, but there could be story-based things that happen to weaken the military at different times. Question, could I carry a passenger in my cargo hold even if the ship is a single-seater? Answer, not in a Hornet, but maybe in other ships that have the room available. Question, when we're able to choose our starting planet or hangar, will the starting planets and hangars consist of all the planets out there, or will it be a select few? Rob answered, it's only going to be a select few to start, but remember that early backers get access to one extra location over everybody else that starts on day one. Question, do you take a reputation hit if you aid a ship that's already in a fight with other ships of a different faction? Answer, it depends on who's in the fight. If you jump in and help some pirates, then yeah, your reputation is probably going to take a hit. Question, if I have a deluxe hangar with only a Constellation, can a friend land their ships in it before heading out with me in the Constellation? In other words, where do they park their ships if they come to me and then we leave? Answer, it depends on if there's space in the hangar, but the hangars will be expandable. We will lock the size of it based on what ships you have towards the end of the beta, but then we'll probably give you ways to expand it within the game. Question, can we change the color schemes on our ship? Answer, yes, you'll be able to change the color schemes on your ships. Question, will I be able to move the furniture around in my hangar to wherever I want? Answer, yeah, we're working on allowing you to really customize your hangar. Question, if you find an asteroid with valuable minerals, will you be able to blast it and use tractor beams, or will you need some drilling equipment to mine it? Answer, you'll lose a lot of content if you just blow it up. That's why we have things like mining lasers. Question, does armor thickness play a role in Star Citizen? The answer is quite a long one. Yes, the CryEngine does have a concept of penetration. There is an ability to penetrate versus the thickness of the armor. In cases where your armor is thicker than the penetration number, it will damage the armor but not the stuff underneath. Projectile weapons generally have a better penetration on shields but not on armor, and the opposite for lasers. A lot of people are debating about this on the forum, saying that that's kind of backwards, but I think he's possibly stating that from the viewpoint of shields block and absorb lasers until the shield is depleted in most sci-fi, and sometimes in sci-fi projectiles actually go through energy type shields. Question, since ships and packages are assigned to a specific character in game, what about skins? The answer to that is, everything on your account works in the same way. They'll get parceled out to some character or player whenever you're ready to assign them. Until they get used up, they don't have to stay on one player. You can move that skin from ship to ship on one character, but not across multiple characters once it's been assigned. Question, if a pirate offloads some stolen goods to a neutral reputation trader, will that trader get bad reputation for carrying those stolen goods, in other words, a faction hit? The answer is, we're still in the middle of the design on piracy and stolen goods and things like that. We are planning to have some sort of tagging system so that we can identify stolen cargo. That doesn't mean you couldn't take them somewhere like, say, Spider and get them scrubbed. Yeah, if you take stolen cargo and it gets identified as stolen, you're probably going to get dinged for it. Question, will economy missions be just simple fetch missions? The answer to that is, for a basic economy mission, yeah, that's what they're going to be. Something needed somewhere, you have to take it there. That's how it works. Question, as a member of the UEE, would I be able to run for office or vote on things? Answer, we've talked about it. We have no idea if we're going to do that or not. Question, will there be less civilized places to land in Star Citizen? They debated a little bit over what they meant by civilized, and they think they meant sort of undeveloped. Answer, yes, there are going to be outposts and barely occupied planets. In fact, at first, some places that are newly discovered, you'll be bringing settlers to those places. Question, will we be able to mask cargo from sensors? Answer, we've done a lot of work on smuggling. There are going to be several different ways, such as disguising contents or masking the whole bay, but it doesn't mean there's not going to be ways to get through that. Question, at what point can we expect atmospheric flight? Answer, we want to do that. We're planning to do that at some point. The cost of that is that you have to build out an entire planet, and with hundreds and hundreds of planets, that's going to take forever. Question, how will we be able to capture a Vandal scythe in-game? Answer, you could disable its engines, blow off its engines. Some people might be selling captured ones. That's pretty much all they said about that, and they've talked about that in the past. Question, will the arena mode and the dogfighting module be the same thing? Answer, not exactly. There's going to be similar elements, of course, but they're not exactly the same thing. Question, is there a way to become a forum moderator? Don't ask us, we'll ask you. They basically want people that make good posts, they're well respected in the community, they want people that are mild-mannered, they want people that can have intelligent discourse without flame wars erupting. So there you go. Question, will we get UECs when we're in the dogfight module? Answer, we're talking about it. I can't give any details yet, but there will probably be some way of earning money. We just have to balance it all out. Moving on, MVP recap. All right, so the most valuable post of the week was the whole truth. It was this show. So we made a post on the forums just to let everybody know what we were doing. Somebody nominated it. I still don't know who, maybe multiple people, and we won. So they put us on there. Ben Lesnick talked about us and gave some kind words. I've got the video running in the background. There's a little Inception thing going on here. But we're super excited about it. Thank you everyone so much. The response has been amazing. It just makes us want to keep doing this. And just keep putting more into it. And once again, all the critiques are welcome. We want to know what the Star Citizen community wants out of us as far as the update show goes. Due to the response, we're already planning a Star Citizen web series type of short that we're going to do. And if you haven't seen any of our web shorts, we've got a lot of them on our YouTube channel. You can check those out. Remember, to keep this community awesome, it's up to us. So we need to do everything we can to support each other and make this an outstanding community. There was a second MVP post this week, so I would feel selfish not calling that out as well. Somebody made a little top-down shooter kind of like Galaga called Squadron 42 minigame. There'll be a link down below if you guys want to go check that out. So after the MVP, there was an interview with David Ladyman. I think this guy's an extremely interesting dude. I don't normally talk about the interviews, but that's how much I like this guy. And I think everybody else would agree with me. He's a super interesting guy. He does the Jump Point magazine for the website, which is a subscriber-only content. He also does the brochures. He actually stated in the interview that the next two brochures that are coming out is the 2944 Aurora brochure and the new Hornet brochure. So keep an eye out for those. I put a link down below for some information about David Ladyman if you guys want to check it out. He's a cool guy. Alright, so the Star Citizen subreddit has been pretty awesome so far, and I thought I would do something similar to what Wingman's Hangar does. They normally do their MVP of the week, so I'm going to do a similar thing, but instead of doing it for the Star Citizen forums, I'm going to do it for the Star Citizen subreddit. So this is r/Star Citizens thread of the week. So this week I saw a pretty cool video that was rendered by iPearlI on Reddit. He's got a video where he rendered stuff inside the engine and used some cool effects, and he basically made it look like the Constellation had a full crew, and he kind of scrolls around through the Constellation. It's got some cool background music in it, stuff like that. So go and check that out. Make sure you give him a thumbs up on his YouTube video and tell him we sent you. So the really cool background music you guys have been listening to throughout this entire cast has been some music that I got from Caden L. Wellborn. He's doing an unofficial Star Citizen soundtrack. So you guys can go check it out on the original forum post and get all the information about it there. But thanks, Caden, and we'll see you guys next time.